In 1931, a peculiar fossil was uncovered in the Italian Alps, embedded in 280-million-year-old rock. Initially, the fossil appeared to depict an ancient reptile, complete with visible outlines, partial bones, and preserved black tissue. Paleontologists were astonished, considering it might be one of the oldest reptile specimens ever found. For years, the black coloration was thought to be fossilized soft tissue, suggesting an extraordinary preservation process akin to natural mummification. However, a modern study in 2021 revealed a surprising twist. The fossil was largely a forgery. Advanced techniques like ultraviolet photography showed that the black layer was not soft tissue, but paint made from animal charcoal. Although the fossil contained genuine reptilian bone fragments, much of its appearance had been artificially enhanced, possibly to highlight the bones or attract attention. This revelation redefined the artifact's value, but left a significant question unanswered. Was the enhancement intentional fraud or an artistic interpretation? The engineering marvels of ancient Rome, such as the Pantheon and aqueducts, have withstood the ravages of time. Central to their endurance is Roman concrete, a material whose durability has baffled scientists for centuries. Unlike modern concrete, which often deteriorates within decades, Roman structures have lasted for millennia. Researchers long suspected that the secret lay in the unique volcanic ash used by the Romans. This ash, sourced from regions like Pozzuoli near Mount Vesuvius, contained minerals that enhanced the concrete's strength. However, recent discoveries in 2023 revealed an even more fascinating element: quicklime. The Romans incorporated quicklime, calcium oxide, into their concrete mix, a practice previously dismissed as poor quality control. When water interacted with the quicklime, it formed lime clasts, tiny pockets of reactive material embedded within the concrete. Over time, as cracks developed, these clasts would react with water to form new calcium carbonate crystals, effectively healing the material. This self-healing property ensured the longevity of Roman concrete, making it one of the most innovative construction materials in history. Modern engineers hope to replicate this ancient formula to create more sustainable and durable building materials. On a quiet night in January 1700, Japan's eastern coast was struck by a massive tsunami. Villagers awoke to walls of water crashing through their homes, forcing them to flee to higher ground. What perplexed observers was the absence of an earthquake, the usual precursor to such an event. Japanese historical records described it as an orphan tsunami, leaving the event unexplained for over 300 years. The mystery deepened when scientists in the Pacific Northwest uncovered evidence of a massive earthquake in the Cascadia subduction zone, located off the coasts of modern-day Oregon, Washington, and British Columbia. Geological investigations revealed ghost forests, dead trees submerged in saltwater, and sediment layers consistent with a catastrophic seismic event. These findings suggested a link between the orphan tsunami and an earthquake thousands of miles away. By analyzing sediment cores, tree rings, and Japanese records, researchers pinpointed the event to January 26, 1700. A magnitude 9 earthquake had occurred in the Cascadia subduction zone, sending shockwaves across the Pacific Ocean. The resulting tsunami traveled at the speed of a jet plane, striking Japan's coast within 10 hours. This discovery not only solved the mystery of the orphan tsunami, but also underscored the potential for future seismic disasters in the region. It remains a chilling reminder of Earth's destructive power. Antarctica, a land of stark beauty and extreme conditions, is home to one of nature's most mysterious phenomena: blood falls. Discovered in 1911, this crimson cascade emerges from Taylor Glacier, contrasting vividly against the surrounding ice. Early explorers speculated that red algae caused the unusual coloration, but this theory was later debunked. In 2017, scientists finally unraveled the mystery. They discovered that the fall's striking hue is due to iron-rich saltwater trapped beneath the glacier. This ancient water, isolated for millions of years, contains high concentrations of iron. As it seeps to the surface and reacts with oxygen, the iron oxidizes, creating the rust-like red color. The subglacial brine's existence also suggests that microbial life can thrive in extreme environments, offering insights into potential life on other planets. Blood Falls is not just a geological wonder, but a testament to Earth's hidden ecosystems and the adaptability of life. The Serpent Mound, a symbol of ancient wisdom. In the rolling hills of Ohio lies the Serpent Mound, a prehistoric earthwork that has captivated archaeologists and historians for generations. Spanning over 1,300 feet, this serpent-shaped mound winds across the landscape, with its coiled body culminating in a spiral tail and an open-mouthed head. Its purpose and origins remain a subject of debate. Radiocarbon dating suggests that the mound was constructed by the Adena culture around 1000 BCE, though some theories attribute it to the later Four-Ancient culture. The mound's alignment with celestial events, such as solstices and lunar phases, indicates it may have served as an astronomical observatory or ceremonial site. Its design reflects a deep understanding of geometry and astronomy, suggesting it held spiritual or cosmological significance for its creators. Excavations near the mound have uncovered artifacts and burial sites, shedding light on the lives of the indigenous peoples who inhabited the region. However, the exact purpose of the Serpent Mound, whether as a tribute to deities, a burial marker, or a tool for celestial navigation, remains an open question. Its enduring mystery continues to inspire awe and respect for the ingenuity of ancient civilizations.
What if the future of humanity had already been foreseen by a blind woman from Bulgaria? Crazy, right? Baba Vanga, known as the Nostradamus of the Balkans, left behind prophecies so astonishing they continue to stir fear decades after her death. Born Vangelia Gustarova in Bulgaria, she lost her sight during a violent storm at the age of 12 and claimed that this event gave her the ability to see the future. She reportedly predicted numerous significant world events with an accuracy rate of 85%. One of Baba Vanga's most unsettling predictions for 2025 is a massive earthquake in the United States that would be so powerful it could alter the course of the Mississippi River. This catastrophic event is expected to cause significant loss of life and widespread destruction. Another of Baba Vanga's prophecies is the assassination of Russian President Vladimir Putin by someone from his own country. With the ongoing conflict in Ukraine, this claim, if it were to come true, could lead to global instability. She also warned of terrorist attacks across Europe and the use of biological weapons by a major, unidentified nation. These dire forecasts highlight the gravity of her prophecies and the potential for significant geopolitical turmoil in the near future. Looking further into the future, Baba Vanga's predictions extend beyond immediate events. She claimed that by 2043, most of the world would come under Islamic leadership and communism would return by 2076. She also predicted that global hunger would be resolved by 2028, humans would gain the ability to time travel by 2304, and humanity would integrate with alien beings by 4302. Perhaps most startling of all, she predicted the end of the world in the year 5079. Her predictions also touch on the idea of immortality, suggesting that by the year 4302, humans will have conquered death through a combination of advanced technology and spiritual evolution. This immortality, she believed, would not merely be physical but would also involve a deeper understanding of the eternal nature of the soul. For Baba Vanga, this marked the pinnacle of human achievement, the merging of the physical and metaphysical into a unified existence. Delving deeper into Baba Vanga's religious and philosophical predictions, her claims about humanity's spiritual evolution and encounters with higher powers are as intriguing as they are enigmatic. Among her most thought-provoking predictions, Baba Vanga spoke of a time when humans would transcend physical limitations and achieve a profound connection with divine and extraterrestrial beings. This phase of existence, she suggested, would mark a turning point in humanity's understanding of life, death, and the universe itself. Baba Vanga believed that by the 22nd century, humanity would begin to experience a spiritual awakening, one that would change the way we perceive our purpose in the cosmos. She envisioned a future where science and spirituality would merge, leading to groundbreaking discoveries about the nature of consciousness and the soul. According to her, this union would result in humanity's ability to communicate with otherworldly beings, entities she described as benevolent guides eager to share their wisdom. While such predictions may seem far-fetched, they resonate with ongoing scientific and philosophical discussions about the potential existence of intelligent life beyond Earth. From the exploration of exoplanets to advancements in artificial intelligence and quantum physics, humanity continues to push the boundaries of what is possible. Could these efforts eventually lead to the kind of spiritual and technological breakthroughs Baba Vanga foresaw? Interestingly, Baba Vanga also predicted remarkable advancements in medicine for 2025. She envisioned cures being discovered for diseases like Alzheimer's and cancer. Recent developments in global medicine suggest that these breakthroughs might not be far-fetched. For example, Russian scientists have claimed progress in developing a cancer vaccine, while researchers in the UK are working on DNA-based therapies for lung cancer. These advancements hint at the possibility of her more optimistic predictions becoming reality. Baba Vanga also foresaw a devastating tsunami striking the Asian continent. This prediction echoes her earlier foresight of the 2004 Indian Ocean tsunami, which caused immense destruction and loss of life. While it is impossible to confirm the timing of such an event, her warnings remind us of the unpredictable and often destructive power of nature. Another of her profound insights concerns the ultimate destiny of humanity. Baba Vanga predicted that, after overcoming countless challenges, humans would achieve a state of collective enlightenment. She described this as a harmonious existence where war, poverty, and suffering would be relics of the past. In this utopian vision, humanity would no longer be bound by material concerns, but would instead focus on intellectual and spiritual growth. As we reflect on Baba Vanga's legacy, it becomes clear that her predictions go beyond mere fortune-telling. They challenge us to consider the possibilities of human potential and the mysteries of existence. Whether her visions come true or remain speculative, they serve as a reminder of the enduring power of curiosity and the human spirit's quest for meaning. What do you think of Baba Vanga's predictions for the future? Do they offer a glimpse into what lies ahead, or are they simply the musings of a mystic with a vivid imagination?
Imagine stepping outside on a calm, sunny day in the countryside, expecting nothing but the gentle sounds of nature. The air is crisp, the sky is clear, and everything seems perfectly ordinary. But then, something utterly unexplainable happens. Something that defies logic and leaves everyone who witnesses it in stunned silence. What could possibly turn a tranquil day into a moment that would be remembered for centuries? This is the story of one such day in March 1876, in the rural community of Olympia Springs, Kentucky. A day that started like any other but quickly spiraled into one of the strangest events in American history. Mrs. Crouch, a farmer's wife, was outside going about her daily chores when she noticed something unusual falling from the sky. At first, she couldn't quite believe her eyes. Was this a sign from above? A freak accident? Or something even more mysterious? As the pieces continued to fall, Mrs. Crouch realized they were not raindrops or leaves, but chunks of raw, bloody meat scattered across her property. The meat, described as being about 2 inches by 2 inches in size, covered an area of roughly 100 yards. Shocked and bewildered, she called her husband, who confirmed the surreal scene. News of the event spread quickly, and the bizarre incident was soon being reported in newspapers across the country. Curious onlookers and journalists rushed to Olympia Springs, desperate to uncover the truth behind what had happened. Theories began to form, ranging from divine intervention to elaborate pranks, each more outlandish than the last. But the truth, if there was one, remained elusive. Scientists of the time were no less intrigued. Samples of the mysterious meat were collected and examined in laboratories, with experts attempting to piece together an explanation for the unexplainable. Some proposed natural phenomena, while others leaned toward the supernatural. The event defied categorization, leaving behind more questions than answers. Among the many theories, one seemed to stand out: a strange but somewhat plausible idea involving the peculiar behavior of vultures. Vultures, as scavengers, often gorge themselves on carrion until they can barely fly. If startled, they are known to regurgitate their meals mid-flight to escape. Could this explain the strange meat shower? Could it really be that simple? Or was the truth something far stranger, hidden just out of reach? As scientists analyzed the evidence, Opinions clashed, and the mystery deepened. To this day, what occurred in Olympia Springs on that fateful day in 1876 remains one of the most bizarre, unsolved mysteries in history. A moment where the ordinary and the extraordinary collided, leaving behind a legacy of speculation and wonder.
There was a man named Teke Kwansi who had been admitted to the hospital for abdominal surgery, leaving him weak and barely able to move. One day, a nurse stepped out briefly while changing the linens, but when she returned, Teke had vanished. Despite an extensive search of the room and surrounding areas, there was no sign of him. For a week, the hospital staff searched tirelessly until, during routine maintenance on the ceiling, an eerie discovery was made. Teke's lifeless body was found curled in the fetal position within the ceiling. The autopsy revealed that his death was not natural, and it became clear someone, or something, had placed him there. A few months later, in a different hospital, Sandile Sibaya was admitted with a broken femur. Plans were made to transfer him to another facility for orthopedic care, but when staff went to prepare him for transport, he too had disappeared. Days passed with no trace of him until a foul, unsettling odor filled the hospital corridors. When maintenance staff opened the ceiling, they found Sandila's body in the same eerie fetal position as Teke. The autopsy once again revealed his death was not natural, leaving behind an unsettling mystery. Who or what was behind these inexplicable and chilling deaths? James Leininger was a 2-year-old boy who began having vivid nightmares about being a World War II pilot named James Houston, who was shot down during the war. He described the aircraft carrier he was stationed on, the planes he flew, and even the name of the pilot who shot him down. After thorough investigation, it was found that all of the details James provided were eerily accurate. There was indeed a pilot named James Houston Jr. who died in the exact manner James had described. Did James Leininger live a past life? Skeptics may suggest that he overheard adults discussing these events, or saw a documentary, or read about it. However, there is no evidence that James had been exposed to such information before his dreams and memories began. Furthermore, the specific details James recalled, such as the aircraft carrier's name and the type of plane, were not widely known or publicly available. This case remains a profound mystery, as the detailed memories James recalled cannot be easily explained by conventional science. In 2005, in a small village called Shams el-Din, near Bani Mazar in the country of Egypt, an eerie and mysterious event began to unfold. One morning, a man named Abu Bakr woke up as usual to pray fire, the dawn prayer. He was waiting for his brother Taha to join him, as they always prayed together. But Taha never came. Abu Bakr was surprised because he was used to seeing his brother every day for prayer. He finished his prayer and decided to go to his mother's house. When he arrived, he was shocked to find the house locked and dark. Inside, he found something he could never have prepared for: his mother, lying lifeless in her room. Her body was badly mangled, with her insides spilling out. Abu Bakr screamed for help, his voice echoing through the village. He ran outside to tell the neighbors, but the horror didn't end there. As people gathered around his house, they soon discovered that the nightmare had spread. Abu Bakr went to his brother's house, only to find Taha's body lying just as horribly mutilated as their mother's, his intestines spilling out and his body covered in blood. Soon, others started to realize that something terrifying was happening. They found more victims, an elderly couple who were also found dead in the same gruesome way. Even children were not spared. 2 young siblings, Fatima, aged 8, and Ahmed, aged 10, were found dead, also mutilated, with the same disturbing pattern. The strange thing was that next to every body there was a dead pigeon. And what made the killings even more unsettling was that every victim had been killed in exactly the same way. Their heads crushed, their stomachs opened, and their genitals removed. The preliminary report stated that the crime was carried out by at least 2 people, with the killings taking place in a very short time frame, as evidenced by the condition of the bodies. Forensic investigators and police began collecting evidence, and the coroner was waiting for the arrival of the 10 bodies to understand what had happened. the forensic team had difficulty collecting fingerprints and evidence due to the large number of villagers gathering at the crime scene, causing the evidence to become mixed. However, it was clear that all the houses had been locked up normally with no signs of forced entry, and it was suggested that the criminals entered the houses through the rooftops, since the villagers reported that all the houses were securely locked. A shoe was found on the roof of one of the crime scene houses, which was kept for investigation in the hope it would lead them to the perpetrators. On the fourth day, public pressure on the police grew to find the criminals quickly, and rumors began to spread about the massacre. Some suggested that the victims were 10 sacrifices to the devil, connected to witchcraft, and that the pigeons near the bodies indicated a magical ritual. Another rumor was that the killings were linked to the trade of human organs, as it was reported that medical tools had been used for the mutilation. While the investigation continued, it was revealed that a mysterious white van had visited the village a week before the massacre, taking blood samples from some villagers under the pretext of a health ministry initiative. However, when the authorities contacted the ministry, it denied sending any ambulance to the village. To this day, the identity of the Bani Mazar massacre killers remains a total mystery. The mystery of Indrid Cold, also known as the Smiling Man, begins in November 1966, when a salesman was driving home late at night. He saw a strange light in the distance, and as he approached, he discovered a spacecraft-like vehicle glowing with an eerie light. The door of the craft opened, and out stepped a man with a disturbing, unnaturally wide smile that stretched across his face. Telepathically, he introduced himself as Indrid Cold, claiming to be an alien from a distant planet. Despite his unsettling appearance, he reassured the salesman that he meant no harm before vanishing back into the craft, leaving the salesman shaken and confused. A year later, in December 1967, investigator John Keel was on the Silver Bridge when he received a phone call from the Smiling Man. The voice on the other end, cold and calm, warned him to leave because a disaster was about to strike. As Keel fled, the bridge collapsed, killing 46 people. The fact that the Smiling Man had seemingly predicted the disaster added an eerie layer to the mystery surrounding him. In the months that followed, more people came forward with their own accounts of encounters with the Smiling Man. Many described him as a tall, bald humanoid with no ears, nose, or facial hair, but what they remembered most was his unsettling smile. His grin was unnaturally wide and constant, creating a feeling of unease in everyone who saw it. Some claimed that he could shapeshift, explaining why some encounters described him as an ordinary-looking human, while others saw his true alien form. Despite his disturbing appearance and strange smile, there were no reports of the Smiling Man causing harm. Some believed he was a benign alien trying to warn humans of future dangers. His constant, eerie smile might have been an attempt to seem friendly, but to those who encountered him, it only made him more mysterious and terrifying. Whether he was truly an extraterrestrial or something else entirely, the Smiling Man's chilling smile and unexplained warnings continue to fuel the mystery to this day.
Welcome to another dive into history's weirdest corners. Today we're traveling back in time to the medieval era, where life was, let's just say, a little different. From questionable hygiene practices to, well, creative problem solving, the Dark Ages didn't earn its name for nothing. Buckle up, because here are 5 bizarre things from the medieval era that might just blow your modern mind. Kicking things off, let's talk about medieval justice. Or should I say, medieval zoo justice? Back in the day, animals weren't just innocent bystanders. They were considered fully capable of committing crimes. Yes, you heard that right. If a pig trampled a farmer's crops, or worse, a chicken laid eggs on the wrong side of town, they could be put on trial. And we're not talking about a slap on the hoof or a scolding here. These animals were dragged to court, complete with lawyers, sometimes human lawyers, defending their case. Imagine being the guy who had to argue that a goat didn't mean to headbutt someone. And the punishments? Oh, they were just as bizarre. Executions, excommunications, because nothing says justice like exiling a rooster. Next up, let's move from trials to dance-offs. In the year 1518, in Strasbourg, something truly strange happened. People started dancing, and then they didn't stop. For days. No, this wasn't some medieval version of a TikTok trend. It was the infamous dancing plague. Entire crowds would join in, dancing until they collapsed from exhaustion. Some even danced themselves to death, because apparently, cardio was taken way too seriously back then. Modern historians have debated whether it was stress, mass hysteria, or maybe someone just played the wrong song at the wrong time. Either way, it's safe to say the party got a little out of hand. Now let's talk about hygiene, or should I say, the lack of it. If you've ever been annoyed by modern bathroom lines, just be glad you weren't around in medieval times. Baths were optional. And by optional, I mean people might take a bath once a year. Maybe, but it gets worse. In some towns, chamber pots, yes, pots full of waste, were simply tossed out the window onto the streets below. Imagine walking through town and suddenly, splash. Honestly, the real heroes of the medieval era were the people who just stayed indoors. Speaking of hygiene, let's talk about pee. Because apparently it was medieval WD-40. Urine was used for cleaning clothes, treating wounds, and even as an ingredient in, wait for it, toothpaste. You've got to admire their resourcefulness, right? Nothing like brushing your teeth with a hint of ammonia to start the day. Who needs minty freshness when you've got medieval science? Finally, let's talk about medieval warfare. We all know about knights, swords, and catapults. But did you know animals sometimes took center stage? In medieval sieges, armies would hurl animals over city walls. But wait, there's more. They didn't just toss any old livestock. Oh no, they used disease-ridden carcasses or even live animals like cats and birds to spread chaos and plague. Imagine the poor medieval pigeon just trying to mind its own business when suddenly, it's ammunition. The lesson here? In medieval warfare, everything was a weapon. And there you have it, folks. 5 bizarre and utterly fascinating facts about the medieval era. From dancing to death to flying livestock, history never ceases to amaze.
A chilling mystery grips the skies of America. From New Jersey to California, unidentified objects hover above us, leaving experts and residents baffled. Are they foreign spies, secret military tests, or something far beyond our understanding? Let us try to understand this bizarre mystery. It all started in New Jersey in mid-November, where residents began reporting clusters of drones hovering for hours. Eyewitness accounts describe these crafts as SUV-sized, sometimes appearing in groups and often vanishing without a trace. But the phenomenon didn't stop there. Reports have since flooded in from Texas, Oklahoma, California, and even as far as Germany. Yet, the question remains: what are they, and why are they here? To understand the mystery, we need to understand the technology. Modern drones are capable of incredible feats, from surveillance to delivering payloads. But the drones described in these sightings go far beyond what we know today. Their size, their flight duration, and their ability to maneuver in complex formations suggest a level of technology that's either cutting-edge military or something we've never seen before. Most consumer drones have a flight time of 30 minutes. These drones reportedly hover for hours. And while commercial drones are limited by FAA regulations, these seem to operate with complete disregard for airspace rules. Many sightings have occurred near sensitive locations, like the U.S. Army's Picatinny Arsenal and Donald Trump's golf course in Bedminster. Congressman Jeff Van Drew even suggested these drones might originate from an Iranian mothership off the coast, possibly purchased in a deal with China. However, descriptions of the drones match those of Russian Orlan-10 UAVs, designed to operate in packs for reconnaissance and electronic warfare. If this is true, it could be a significant national security threat. Others believe these sightings are linked to top-secret U.S. military experiments. Advanced drone technologies are often tested in isolated areas to avoid public alarm. However, this raises a critical question: why would the government conduct such tests near populated regions like New Jersey? If this were a military project, there's no way they'd allow these crafts to be seen so frequently. And then, there's the most extraordinary explanation of all: aliens. Some witnesses claim to have seen lights and shapes that don't resemble human-made aircraft. Could these be visitors from beyond our world? This isn't the first time mysterious crafts have baffled the public. From the famous Phoenix Lights in 1997 to the Tic Tac UFOs observed by Navy pilots in 2004, the skies have always held secrets. Could the November drone sightings be the latest chapter in this ongoing saga? What's fascinating is the pattern. These sightings often occur near critical points of interest: military bases, power plants, or even civilian infrastructure. It's almost like someone is watching us. Despite mounting reports, the Pentagon and Department of Homeland Security maintain there's no evidence of foreign or alien involvement. Some drones have even been dismissed as manned aircraft. Yet, with over 3,000 sightings and no concrete answers, frustration is growing. The mysterious drones of November remain an enigma, but one thing is certain: we deserve answers. Art has the power to inspire, to provoke, and sometimes, to disturb. Across history, certain paintings have done more than shock. They've left us questioning the minds behind them, the stories they tell, and the dark secrets they hold. Today, we're diving into the mysteries of 5 disturbing paintings that refuse to be explained. The Nightmare is a haunting and mysterious painting that explores the unsettling world of dreams and the subconscious. It depicts a pale woman lying on a bed in a deep, troubled sleep, her limp body suggesting both torment and surrender. Perched on her chest is a grotesque creature, often interpreted as an incubus, a demonic figure from folklore believed to visit and torment sleepers at night. Behind the bed, a ghostly horse with glowing eyes emerges from the shadows, staring ominously into the room. The horse, a play on the word nightmare, and the incubus together create an eerie atmosphere of dread. The Triumph of Death is a harrowing vision of the end of humanity. It depicts a desolate, apocalyptic scene where death reigns supreme. It shows a landscape littered with the dead and dying men, women, and children, while skeletons and corpses dominate the scene. The living are portrayed as helpless against the overwhelming power of death, which is shown in various forms, such as skeletons wielding scythes and archers firing into the crowd. The painting conveys a dark message about the inevitability of death and the indiscriminate nature of its reach. The Isle of the Dead is a haunting painting by the Swiss artist Arnold Böcklin, created in 1880. It depicts a boat gliding through a foggy sea, towards a mysterious, isolated island. In the boat is a figure, often interpreted as a deceased person being transported to the afterlife. This solitary island, shrouded in mist, suggests a journey into the unknown, a crossing from life to death. Böcklin's use of dark, muted colors and a surreal, dreamlike atmosphere amplifies the sense of melancholy and mystery. The painting reflects themes of mortality, the passage between worlds, and the inevitability of death, inviting viewers to contemplate their own mortality and the unseen mysteries beyond life. Böcklin created several versions of this painting, each slightly different in composition and detail, underscoring the enduring allure and profound impact of this mysterious, symbolic landscape. The Anguished Man is considered one of the most famous haunted artworks. It is a mysterious piece owned by Sean Robinson, who inherited it from his grandmother. According to Robinson's grandmother, she had kept it hidden in her attic for years due to its unsettling nature and the eerie events surrounding it. She claimed the painting was created by an unknown artist who used his own blood mixed with paint and took his own life shortly after completing it. The Death of Marat is a painting that captures the eerie stillness after Jean-Paul Marat's assassination. Jean-Paul Marat was a central figure during the French Revolution. In the painting, Marat lies in his bath, his expression calm but deeply enigmatic, almost as if he's frozen in thought. The shadows in the room obscure much of the background, creating a sense of mystery and isolation. The painting's cool, muted colors and Marat's stillness hint at a hidden story. The mysterious details, the bloody knife, the letter in his hand, make viewers wonder about the true circumstances of his death and the darkness behind his public image. This haunting scene makes us reflect on not just Marat's life, but the broader secrets of the revolution.